The border crisis continues, Biden team now bribing federal employees to take in unaccompanied minors. The Biden administration undoubtedly created a humanitarian crisis at the southern border when they all but invited millions of immigrants into America. But of course, they've continuously denied the problem and even went as far as locking the press out of border facilities to hide the true depth of the issue. But internally, the administration must be coming to terms with reality, though they're only proposing terrible solutions. With almost 30,000 unaccompanied minors in U.S. custody, the Biden team has officially offered thousands of their federal employees up to 4 months of paid leave if they will volunteer to take in migrant children who have crossed the U.S.-Mexico border illegally. According to the New York Times, the administration emailed asking federal employees for help with unaccompanied alien children, or UACs. The desperate plea landed this week in the email boxes of employees in government agencies like the Department of Homeland Security and NASA. Will you consider taking a 4-month paid leave from your job to help care for migrant children in government-run shelters packed with new arrivals at the border? The Times reported. Continuing to say that the request to much of the federal workforce came from the Department of Health and Human Services, which is at the heart of the frantic effort by the Biden administration to keep up with the surge in young people crossing the southwestern border, hoping to reunite with relatives already in the United States. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, has declared an emergency and told Fox News on Sunday that he thinks the number of unaccompanied children crossing the border illegally will continue to rise much higher than the 35,000 the Biden administration estimates will be in custody this summer. Biden's response to the pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has people saying, "What?" Yesterday, news broke that the FDA was recommending a pause on the use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine after 6 women faced deadly side effects. This threw the plans for the vaccine rollout, that have been in the works since Trump was in office, into the air. Many Americans were looking to President Biden to provide some clarity on the issue and what it would mean for the future. Unfortunately, he only seemed to bring more uncertainty. During a quick Q&A, Biden rambled incoherently about the vaccines and, well, no one really knows what he meant. Watch for yourself.
My message to American people on the vaccine is, I told you all, I made sure we have 600 million doses of the mRNA, not of either Johnson & Johnson and or AstraZeneca. So there's enough vaccine that is basically 100% unquestionable for every single solitary American. Thank you.
House Democrats want to pack the courts, and their excuse for it is wild. It's no secret that Joe Biden and the Democrats have wanted a reason to pack the court since the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett in October. This week, the Democrats finally took action with the bill proposing the expansion of the Supreme Court from its current 9 seats to 13 seats. And their excuse for doing it now is pretty wild. In a tweet so ridiculous it almost seemed like parody, Rep. Jones of New York announced, "Supreme Court expansion is infrastructure." The tweet seemed to echo earlier comments from Senator Gillibrand, who justified a massive spending bill with the insistence that lots of non-infrastructure policies are actually infrastructure, when she said paid leave is infrastructure, childcare is infrastructure, caregiving is infrastructure. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has fired back at this language, saying, instead of coming up with a better bill, Democrats have decided it's the English language that needs to change. They are embarking on an Orwellian campaign to convince everybody that any government policy whatsoever can be labeled infrastructure. While the radical plan to expand the courts is gaining a lot of traction online, it's unlikely that it will pass the Senate. Liberal Senators Manchin and Sinema have both expressed their unwillingness to play nice on the issues, and that puts Democrats way under the 60 vote count they need to force this change through Congress.